Dr. Wandell has taught us how to put the children first.
God has promised to never leave or forsake us, so what do we have to fear?
I feel like when he gets to heaven that he's going to see all the people that he's touched that he doesn't even know.
Good evening, I'm News 5 anchor PJ Johnson. Tonight, we're remembering the life of Josh Wandell, the elementary school principal who was diagnosed with ALS. It was his brave and courageous fight against this horrible disease that inspired our region with his message, faith over fear. News 5's Caleb Perney joins us live from Elizabethton, just outside Wandell's Celebration of Life service for a look back.
Yeah, PJ, I'm here outside Elizabethton High School where that service is about to begin. We've seen a steady stream of people coming to pay their respects all afternoon long. Wandell died on Saturday at age 41. Now, the signs are still up across Elizabethton with that message, faith over fear, a testament going to show the impact that Wandell had on this community. Now, the stats surrounding ALS are staggering. The disease slowly paralyzes those who it affects. According to the ALS Association, some 5,000 people are diagnosed with the disease each year. The average life expectancy is 2 to 5 years. Wandell lived nearly 7. Now, when Wandell was first diagnosed in 2013, it was a shock, but that was when his faith stepped in.
Another busy day at Eastside Elementary in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Josh Wandell is not only the line leader, he's also the principal. And that's pretty special considering he went to this school as a boy.
I'd say if you could get them to speak honestly, they would not have predicted me to be a principal.
Josh is a small-town success story. Before earning his doctorate in education from LMU, he played football for Tennessee and ETSU. He was also a star athlete at Elizabethton High School, where former Vol Jason Witten's grandfather was his coach.
Ate dinner at their house a couple nights a week. A lot of life lessons for me were learned on the field and in the gym, and the stuff I carry with me today.
And every day, he passes those lessons on to his students. But after running a self-best in a local half-marathon race in 2012,
I felt probably the best I'd ever felt in my life.
This hometown hero started losing some of his physical powers, and his journey of life became an uphill race. After not feeling well for several weeks, the doctors ran numerous tests.
Went in, and my doctor, Dr. Pendole, was a neurologist. He spent 20 minutes telling me all the tests we'd done and telling me all the things he'd already told me. So I kind of interrupted him and said, you know, Dr. Pendole, what is it? And that's when he said, Josh, I'm afraid you have ALS.
ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a progressive disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. This 36-year-old husband and father of 3 was given 2 to 5 years to live. Days later, Josh woke up with a renewed attitude.
I quit praying for a healing and instead prayed for, don't take this away from me, but rather help me to understand this. Where are you in this? Within a week, 5 to 7 days, I woke up one morning and God had I woke up renewed, and I felt like, okay, I know where God is. God has said, Josh, I'm in control, but you got to be willing to let me use you.
Signs of support can be seen all over Elizabethton. Recently, the town held a fundraising race for Josh's family, and the turnout was overwhelming. Over 2,000 people showed up.
And I knew I lived in a special place, but I never dreamed that people cared this much about me.
In fact, Josh's doctors told him to stop working, and they gave him all the paperwork to make it happen. But he decided to take another path.
I'm still able to come to work every day and enjoy what I'm doing.
And as you saw there, Elizabethton City Schools bought a Segway for Wandell so that he could get around and keep doing the job he loved. But by 2016, his ALS had progressed so that he couldn't work any longer. Here's News 5's Olivia Bailey.
He, for years, met them at the car line each morning and said hello, to give them high fives and fist bumps. So he takes the time to really build those relationships with the kids so our students feel safe and loved when they come through our doors.
Principal Dr. Josh Wandell has been the leader at Eastside Elementary in Elizabethton for 8 years. And it just might be the one place where going to see the principal is a good thing.
Students love him. As soon as Mr. Wandell comes through the door, it's like, Dr. Wandell! You know, everyone loves Dr. Wandell.
Wandell is a hero around the school. Despite his athletic successes here at home and just down the road at the University of Tennessee, it's how he serves that makes him popular.
With every kid, you know, he wants them to feel, you know, loved and cared for and respected.
His door was always open. We could always come to him, whether it was something we were struggling with in the classroom or something personally.
Wandell is now stepping down as principal as he continues to battle ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease.
His message of faith over fear is so evident, even though we might not always speak those words, just they see the way that he lives that message each and every day that they come to school.
And as the classrooms are emptied and the hallways cleared, if these walls could tell of this year's memories, it'd be the story of love that's been shared right here in this community.
It's not only just Eastside or Elizabethton City School Systems, it's the whole community that rally behind him, that, you know, support him, you know, that are fighting, you know, with him.
And although they'll have a new leader next year, Wandell's been leaving future lesson plans all along.
Dr. Wandell has taught us how to put the children first and love them first before we think about teaching our content.
As proof, tons of little lives where Wandell has shared so much love show that bond has a strong hold.
We love Dr. Wandell!
In Elizabethton, Olivia Bailey, News 5 WCYB.
Now the medical costs of ALS are enormous. Collectively, Wandell's wheelchair, his speech device, and his around-the-clock nursing care cost into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. To pay for the bill, he used his love of running to bring his community together. And for 6 years now, they've come out in droves.
The race for Josh Wandell was filled with love and support for a man who inspires so many people.
And I think that really shows just what a good person he is, because all of these people he has some type of relationship with, and that really speaks volumes of what kind of person he's always been.
Before Josh was diagnosed, he was a runner. Josh and his close friend and colleague, TJ Brown, used to run together, which is why he came up with the idea to start a fundraising run for Josh.
You know, it's rough, but that's why we do the race, because it's something that was close to his heart and all that. And with that being said, we also got, you know, ALS, we brought it to the forefront and made people aware.
All the proceeds from the run go to help pay for Josh's medical costs. It's an ongoing struggle for his family, but they say the incredible support they've received has meant everything.
This morning I just woke up feeling very blessed that we're part of such a wonderful community and that I'm married to such a fighter, and just feel very blessed today.
And everyone out running in the events was happy to help.
I think it's really cool. Like usual people say, if you help someone, you make them smile, it makes you smile.
In Elizabethton, Jess Cartwright, News 5 WCYB.
Now, Josh's ability to persevere and stay strong through such a nasty disease is why he's been an inspiration to so many, even from states away. And in 2015, the school where he was principal and attended honored him in a big way. Here's News 5's Preston Ayers.
Amid tears and cheers, the school dedicated the Josh Wandell Early Learning Center, a series of classrooms where 4-year-olds get a jump start on learning. Through his wife, Tabitha, Wandell tells the crowd he hopes he's still an inspiration.
I hope and pray that my motto of faith over fear resonates with everyone here today.
I spoke with several of his former students who describe lessons from Wandell they say will stick with them forever.
Never give up.
He taught me how to live through faith and always trust in God.
He showed you how to develop your walk with Christ a lot better. I mean, when you think like you're going through something hard, you think of Dr. Wandell, he's going through way harder stuff than we are, so you just gotta think faith over fear.
And for that inspiration, they have a message for him.
Thank you.
I love you.
Now, as ALS took its toll, Wandell lost his ability to walk, to eat, and even to speak. But even without his voice, he still found a way to share his message, faith over fear.
Today, 3 years later, the battle has left its scars. But somehow, the warrior seems stronger than ever. And while he prefers to text rather than talk, ALS did not take Josh's voice. It only made it louder.
I feel like when he gets to heaven that he's going to see all the people that he's touched that he doesn't even know.
Some of those who've been inspired by the now 37-year-old decided it was time to show their thanks. And they pushed Josh for another challenge. They entered the Tobacco Road Marathon in Cary, North Carolina. And in March of this year, with a donated cart, they took turns pushing Josh all 26.2 miles.
Just seeing him back out doing some type of sporting event was really exciting.
He might not have been physically running, but it was anything but a free ride for Josh.
Early in the morning, start off, it was cold. Heated up, we had to take that off, and then the rain came on, so we had to stop, put a poncho on, and all that, and a respirator at a certain point as well.
It was a journey of joy, run on the grounds of gratefulness. Tabitha says daily God provides new strength, even during conversations with strangers.
She came up to me and she started crying and she said, I just want you to know that when I see you all, I see true love.
It might not look like it, but this is not a story of tragedy, but one of triumph.
Wandell's friends pushed him through 150 races, but the biggest one of all was in 2018 when he set a new world record for the fastest half marathon in a wheelchair. I had the honor of interviewing him shortly after that race. You can't drive through Elizabethton without seeing one of these signs: faith over fear, prayers for Josh Wandell. They represent a community in support of the former elementary school principal who has been slowly paralyzed by his disease, robbed of his independence, even his ability to speak.
Faith over fear means to me that God has promised to never leave or forsake us, so what do we have to fear? He has defeated death, so there is no fear of that.
It takes two people to get Wandell out of the bed in the morning, and a suction tube cleans his lungs as many as 60 times a day. But his wife says he isn't complaining.
If he can get up and keep going, then me and the kids and the people around us can too.
Wandell is using his disease as a platform to share his story and faith. The community is calling him an inspiration.
99.9% of the times when you go to Josh's house, he picks you up. You walk in, he smiles at you.
Wandell loves running, holding the race for Wandell every year at the school where he worked. The race funds his medical equipment and 24-hour care. He even takes part in races himself, recently breaking the world record for the fastest half marathon in a wheelchair.
I love to hear the people pushing me breathing hard and grunt and moan, especially TJ, even though he uses non-church words.
But what Wandell wants everyone to know most is what he clings to, how he is staying strong.
To everyone facing a hard time in life, which we all will, I say find a friend who walks close to God and share your struggle. Fight with all you have, and when you can't fight anymore, let someone fight for you.
Inside Elizabethton High School, right behind me, there's a large amount of people, family and friends ready to celebrate Josh's legacy, the legacy of Josh Wandell. We're going to bring you the entire service here from News 5. I'm Caleb Perney. Thank you for joining me tonight as we look back at the legacy of Josh Wandell.